Okay, as you saw, there's a recording that's going to be happening. This session will be posted on the Greater Hartford Arts Council's website, letsgoarts.org, for future viewing. It won't be posted immediately, but it's going to be posted after the session. Okay, let's get started. Welcome everybody to the Hartford Creates info session number 1. What is it and how can I get involved? So this is an intro discussion on what Hartford Creates is. We've got this partnership. How can artists get involved? How can organizations get involved? We're going to share that with you today. So I am Amanda Roy. I'm the Director of Equitable Arts Advancement at the Greater Hartford Arts Council, and I'm here presenting today with my colleague, Chelsea Pollard.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Pollard. I am the Program Officer for Hartford Creates. I was just hired early July, and I'm so excited to be a part and running this entire program. So feel free for the future, if you have any questions, I am the person to reach out to. All things Hartford Creates.
Thanks, Chelsea.
And
go ahead.
So sorry. Now, if I would love to be honored to introduce Reverend Dr. Shelley D. Best, our CEO of the Greater Hartford Arts Council.
Good afternoon, and we are so glad to be here as we begin to launch Hartford Creates. We are excited because this initiative is one that's going to really create creative vitality in the city of Hartford, and we are delighted to have you share with us today as we prepare to get ready as we launch these various initiatives. So we're looking forward to this presentation and the opportunity to work with those of you who come through. So thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing from Amanda and Chelsea. So thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Best. So what is Hartford Creates? Hartford Creates is a partnership in between the City of Hartford and the Greater Hartford Arts Council. This program was in the planning process of March 2021 and to May 2022. The contract was signed of May of 2022, and it became to the public as of summer of 2022. So it's brand spanking new. It's a great program to be a part of, and we'll dive more into it on the next slide.
All right, Hartford Creates. So this is funding that's made possible by the City of Hartford with funding from the American Rescue Plan Act. And the American Rescue Plan Act is an economic stimulus package that was passed to deliver relief to the American people and the economy post-pandemic, or as we come out of the pandemic. We have been working with the mayor's office in the City of Hartford, like Chelsea mentioned, since 2021 to put this package together. The city has invested a total of $5.85 million in arts and culture from the American Rescue Plan funding that was awarded to the city from the federal government. And over $3 million of that has been, it will go through the Greater Hartford Arts Council for us to administer arts and culture programming for Hartford Creates. And this is a 3-year initiative. It kicked off this summer and will go for the next 3 years. A little over $1 million each year will be allocated to this program. And we'll go into exactly how those allocations are going to be made, the different types of programming, but just the origin of Hartford Creates coming from American Rescue Plan funding. And we'll, in the next slide, we're going to see what the priorities are of the program. So areas of focus. With this being economic stimulus funding, we're looking at the creative workforce and driving the creative workforce forward. Artists were hit hard during the pandemic. We know that arts organizations were hit hard. This funding is intended to get creative workers back to work and to assist in recovering the arts sector as we go through the continuing stages of the pandemic and hopefully come through to an end soon. But we're bringing people back to Hartford. That's another goal here. Audiences are still not coming back to arts and culture programming like they were pre-pandemic. So we are looking for programs that are going to draw audiences back to Hartford and engage people who already live in the city of Hartford. So we're going to be activating corridors. We're going to be activating public spaces. And that's where the funding will be going, to look at those really important things that are going to draw audiences in, that are going to engage people who live here, that are going to instill pride in the community and get artists and creative workers back to doing the things that they love doing. We're also going to be focusing on programming and organizations that are doing the work of diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice. So as we go into grant programs and contract programs, you're going to see questions and different pieces of information and proposals that are focusing on these core values of diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice.
Great, thank you so much, Amanda. And these different sectors or sections of Hartford Creates is going to be our all-season event grants, which are now open to the public. Our biggest goal for the all-season event grants is to have an event that takes place in Hartford, not necessarily those organizations residing in Hartford, but putting on their events in Hartford is going to be our big focus for the all-season event grants. We also have arts activation grants and contracts as well, which are really going to activate the community and open up those public spaces in Hartford to put on some sort of artistic event. We also have public art in this Hartford Creates program as well, where we are trying to, make sure we have a bunch of goals. I'll get more into it during the slideshow, but we have a lot of plans for public art being shown in the Hartford community. We also will be having Summer in the City. I don't know if anyone was able to come to Summer in the City this past summer, but that's also a part of Hartford Creates for the next summer of 2023, and Make Music Hartford winter and summer as well. We have a lot of ideas and plans for that as well. And we'll get more into it in the slides in the next slide. So how can you be a part of Hartford Creates? So with the all season event grants, applications are open now, like I said. The nonprofits must be the lead applicant. So it has to be a nonprofit organization. You can be in collaboration with a for-profit organization, but the nonprofit has to be the lead applicant. And then we also have upcoming deadlines at the end of this month of September 30th and January 31st of 2023, almost at 2022. Arts activation grants and contracts. Our main goal for the arts activation grants are going to be those public spaces, like I said before. We want them to thrive in our community and our neighborhoods, and this activation grant program is going to be designed to put performing artists back to work and restore vibrancy to our major corridors of our neighborhoods. And then, excuse me, we have grants in between $1,000 to $10,000, and these grants will support community-driven programming arts, arts activation in the neighborhoods of Hartford. And we're just so excited to get this started. So for how do you participate, we're going to continue with how do I participate in Hartford Creates? For the public art planning, we have a lot of ideas, and we're starting to roll that out once we have our next, not our next info session, but we have a specific info session for our public art planning. So please stay tuned. That's going to be coming at the end of September, I believe. So stay tuned for that. And then for Make Music Hartford and Make Music Winter, we have Make Music Day, which is technically June 21st. And then we also have Make Music Winter, because in the years past, Make Music Day was so successful here in Hartford, we changed it to Make Music Hartford. We have Make Music Winter as well on the winter solstice, December 21st. Registrations for Make Music Hartford are going to be opening for 2023. We're open to nonprofits, artists, and creative businesses. We've noticed that a lot of people in the community really enjoys Make Music Days that we have here in Hartford. So we're going to continue to keep those moving along and rolling out for Hartford Creates. And then a deep dive into our info sessions. So we have our info session once every Wednesday at 3 o'clock for the month of September. So for all season event grants, if you do have questions and you want to know more and you think that you can qualify, I'd highly recommend coming to our all season event grants info session. And again, I believe all of our info sessions are going to be on our website at www.letsgoarts.org, where you can register under our webpage for Hartford Creates. We also are going to be having our arts activation grants and contracts, public art planning, Make Music Hartford, and Winter. And we also will be having an info session on permits and city service planning coming very soon. We don't have a date yet, but it's coming. And yes, I think that's all that we have. And we're going to leave the floor open for any questions that you may have.
So this was a quick overview as we go into the individual info sessions that were on the slide before, that Chelsea was walking through. We're going to actually, for the all season event grant, go into the application and walk through the questions on the application. So those are going to be the sessions that really get into the weeds of what happens with each of these programs. So if you have really specific questions about these, I'm guessing we're going to answer those questions at those specific sessions. But if you have questions about the overall Hartford Creates program, we're happy to answer those. If you're wondering if you qualify for any of these sessions and if you should attend, we're happy to answer that as well. And if any, we have some staff on the line, if anybody has any thoughts they'd like to share with the group as well. No questions?
Miles, I'll pick on you. I know you have a question.
I did have a question, but first off, great job, and you answered it. So I was going to ask if this was going to be recorded, so that I can. I have a lot of students who I think might be interested in hearing this information. So yeah, thank you so much. It was a great info session, and I can't wait to attend more.
Thank you, Miles. Did anything feel confusing to anyone that maybe I can elaborate on a little bit more, or is all good?
To Miles's point, I'm Elijah Hilliman, and to Miles's point, it's a pretty clear overview in my opinion, but I'm looking forward to attending the other meetings to get into the nitty-gritty. But yeah, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, this was the biggest thing that I was nervous about, was the questions, and it's pretty straightforward from what I'm getting in the chat. So this is great.
Well, people know where to reach us, especially Chelsea, if you have questions about Hartford Creates. We've got our contact information up there. You can be in touch with us, but also, again, please attend those additional info sessions. If you aren't able to make the info session at 3 p.m. on that Wednesday. We're going to record all of them and we'll have them for viewing afterwards. So if you want to jump back, they're not long, so you'll be able to digest them, take them in, and really look at them on demand if you have questions that come up again afterwards as well, especially when we do some of those walkthroughs on the grant applications. If you have any questions, we'll really put it all out there clearly for you.
And we're here to help. Any questions that you may have, I'm a phone call, an email, a text away. Please feel free to ask any questions at any time between the hours of 9 to 5.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing and we'll, okay, great. Well, thanks everybody for joining. It's great to see names and faces of artists and creatives that, you know, it's been a little while since we've all been able to connect, and I'm really excited for what Hartford Creates is going to open up. We're going to see some really great programming. Again, we're hoping to draw people to Hartford. We're hoping to engage people who live in Hartford, and hopefully we'll see everybody out there. These are funding things that are happening in person. So that's the goal, is to get feet out on public ground and start to do some really exciting things again. So glad to have you all a part of this and to see you. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, be in touch.
You're welcome. Peace.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Bob. Good to
Bye-bye.
see you. All right, Chelsea, you'll stop that recording there. Let's see.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Thanks.